Hey, Mustang Rebuilder here. It's the first video in 2 weeks. I've had my hip surgery. I'm sitting down in my office. Finally, I can sit on my rear end. It's been the toughest thing I ever been through. First 4 days, you're walking with a four-legged crutcher thing or whatever. I felt like I was 100 years old. Hardest thing was sitting on a freaking, trying to use the bathroom. Toilet felt like it had 9,000 needles in it. Anyway, I'm over that part. I'm walking around now. Tomorrow to take all my bandages off, and then by next week I'll be allowed to drive. By next week it'll be 3 weeks. All right, so getting better, having to move around a little slower, but it's okay. You know why? By the grace of God, I couldn't stump grind anyway because it's like 5 degrees outside, and we had a snowstorm yesterday. And last week was the same deal. Fronts coming in, and tomorrow's supposed to be another front. Well, hell, across the whole United States is crap weather. Anyway. This particular video, I'm making it for often in a lot of forums and stuff, a lot of the bigger guys, or guys that have been in the business a long time, they kind of try to unplug or zing the guy with the small machine. By small machine, I'm talking about a guy that bought, let's say, a hand swing machine, the one you get at a rental service or you go to Home Depot, could be up to like 13 horsepower. You know, I've used it before years ago. Before I was in the stump grinding business, I'd do a tree job, got to go rent it, but I'd rent like that time it was 25 horse. I think Rico was making them, and you know, after you do 2 or 3 30-inch stumps, oaks, you were toast. But this is another option for you. If you got the smaller machine, let's say 13 horsepower, 16 horsepower, whatever. The first thing you have to make sure is you know your place in the business. All right. And why I say that is just don't pursue big stumps, but don't leave them off your plate, because I'm going to tell you how you can make money off of them. All right. Because the guy like me or these other guys with these machines that make mine look like a midget, the guys with the 100 and something horsepower machines, we still need you, or they walk away from jobs. I mean, at times, now I'll walk away. I don't even have anyone to refer them to. So like the jobs I'm talking about is the jobs that are in these higher flower beds or in this very, very narrow. I mean, I got my ZT where I can go through a 29-inch gate, but I also got jobs that are like in these narrow flower bed deals to where they're trying to get stuff out, or a mason calls me and I'll have to fight a little thing to where I only have a 2-foot wide flower bed that's raised up, and he wants me to get it out of there so he can lay, you know, new footing in or something. And I'll say, I can't help you. You got to rent it out or chop it out by X. But if I had another guy like one of you guys to refer to, I would. And here's another trick. Now you got a smaller grinder, and your place is like these elevated flower beds and hard to get to places. You charge more. You charge more than we do. And it's okay, because like what I do, if I have to bring the ZT out and go through a narrow gate that no one else can get through and do something knowing everybody else is walking away from, they ain't worked it or whatever, my minimum's going to go up. I'm going to charge more, okay? And I'm going to charge more in general. Like my brother, I'll send him out a job. He'll call me and he'll say, hey, can't get our machines in there. Okay, he said, you got to use a smaller machine. I already bid the job for you. It's $300. He's going to take you probably 30 minutes to do it. I said, okay, you know. And see, my brother referred the job on to me. So I do the job for 50%. My brother made 50%. I made 50%. And we feed each other. And I'm going to make a whole nother video of how I basically created a stump grinding mafia. I'll make that later on from this weekend, all right? Anyway, back to you with the small machine. So you're going to do that. Now, if you're starting out, don't have very many business and stuff like that, but if you get called to a big stump, I want you to look around and find out who the stump grinders are in your area, okay? And the guys with the bigger machines. I want you to find a guy that's reputable, all right? Not some crackhead, all right, or some yippity-doo-dah day or whatever. Because here's another thing. When you build a relationship with another stump grinder, or you're subbing for someone else, how you look at how you interact with his customer is the same way you want him to interact with your customer. I'm going to say this because There was a tree guy that owned half of these guys are dead. I've been in business so long. Owned a large cleaning company. All right. Refer them on to a job, or one of my other tree guys, refer them on to a job, say, oh, it's 10%. And they said, no problem. Goes out with the crane, does the job, gives them his 10%. But the guy goes back, later on, follow up with the customer. And the customer says, yeah, the guy did a great job, whatever. That was one hell of a big crane, great job, this, that. But, are you sure that guy's a friend of yours? The tree guy goes, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? So, well, the whole time he's doing the job, he's actually bad-mouthing you and saying, why did you even bother to call you when you should have called him, because he's the one with the big stuff, okay? It's not a good way to run a business. I got a lot of people, customers, customers want to know, they're sneaky. I get subcontracted to do the job, I go do the job, customer comes, oh, what are you charging to do this job? I said, man, that's between me and the other guy, and we do a lot of cross jobs. I BS a little bit. And say, we're doing, he did a tree for me, I'm doing a stump for him. I avoid it like the plague, okay? Because I don't know what the guy charged. I could go say, oh yeah, that was $150. Meanwhile, the customer goes, $150? The guy's charging me $350. He's ripping me off. Well, that's the deal I have between. I'm a sub, okay? So subs don't talk to customers. The only way I talk to a customer is, hey, how you doing? I'm sent here by such and such tree service. I'm supposed to take care of you. I do all his stumps for him. Oh, okay. I'll do it and I'll walk away. Hey, they don't need to know our little business deal, right? That's business. That's my business with the other guy I know with the customer, all right? Same thing if I'm at the customer's house and the customer comes to me and says, listen, you missed a couple of limbs. You know what I do? I said, don't worry about it. I'll call the guy now. Before I leave here, I'll call him, let him know that you're not happy, you want a couple of limbs done or whatever. And they're like, oh, really? And I said, yeah, don't worry about it. He'll come here. I know him, a very good man. He'll come and take care of it. So right away, I get on the phone and get in the backyard, tell the guy, hey, you better get your behind over here because, I'm looking at it and I can tell you did some, you missed. And the guy goes, thanks, Adam. I wasn't there. My crew was there. I'll be there. We'll take care of it. All right? Because your reputation, you don't know how many times I grind everywhere in this big city. I go to this house, let's say, 6 months earlier. And there's such and such tree company calls me to do this job. I do a big job and I'm out of there. 6 months later, I'm called by such and such tree company. I go back there. I say, wait a minute, I know this address. It's still in my freaking phone. Another tree company that I do work for is doing that job. I'm like, why am I here? I'll talk to the one guy. He goes, oh, they said they weren't happy with the work from the other guy. Oh, I told my other tree guy, oh, I was here before or whatever. I said, they did nice work. I think what you got here is a shopper, okay? Trust me, there's people out there that shop, okay? Anyway, back to the guy with the small. I got off track a little bit about overall business, I'm sorry. But back to you and your small machine, all right? So find out who your stump grinders are that are reputable, got a bigger machine. If you find a stump that's bigger, talk to them. Say, hey, can I price a stump and you let me know what you'll do it for? Or show me how you charge so I know what you charge and I can put a little change on it for me. And 99% of the time he's going to say yes, because you're going to tell him this. I've got a small stump grinder. If you got something in a complicated area or whatever, I'll be happy to do your work for you. And you know what? One hand washes the other, I might be on a job to where all I got is big stumps around, but I got one in a freaking flower bed from hell. Whenever I call guys, you don't mind? You come out and do it? He says, yeah. But I don't have that guy. I used to, but he was undependable. He must be dead now or whatever. Anyway, so that's one way, right? Another way you're going to make money and you got a small stump grinder. If you got kids, a wife, you want to come out on a Saturday evenings and help you, whatever, you can do flower beds with that small machine. All right, springtime. It's wintertime. There's snow out, but springtime is coming. And you'll know, Lowe's, Home Depot, everybody's putting the flowers out, all the stuff to get your beds and pushing all the commercials on TV about your grass, yada, yada. They get everybody hyped up for you for free. Now, you're going to go to all the little places that sell all your stuff. You got smaller nurseries, stuff like that. Have a card. See if you can put a few of them or a little flyer. Have you put them by the cash register somewhere or pin them on a wall somewhere. All right? Or you pin them around every place, or you put it on Facebook or whatever. Then you do flower bed, vegetation removal. That's what we're going to call it, vegetation removal. With that small machine, you can go in there and all. Be aware about sprinklers and stuff. You got to learn that. plenty of YouTube videos on it. If you hit one, it's easy to repair. Okay. Anyway, now the first time cleaning out the flower beds, here's how you're gonna do it. If you got a small lawn service or whatever it is that you got this small stump grinder with you. Now you clean out the vegetation in it. Then you're gonna tell them this. I built a business. I'll tell you another video for someone on a challenge, and it was a bet. And I told them I could build them a business for $50. And for $50, I could build them a business that bring them in a few $100s a month. Okay, make the car payment. And they were like, yeah. No, I said, okay, I'll do it. I said, in 1 week's time, you'll have a business. So that's what I did. I had to freaking hold them by the hand. All right. We went and had 100 flyers printed out. 100 flyers printed out, a 5-gallon bucket, and some tools for cleaning out flower beds. A couple of really good tools, and you have to go on the internet. If I'm out in the shop later, I can walk around and take a picture of some tools. There's some really good tools for pulling out weeds and stuff like that. And that professional quality tools. All right. But basically, your hand tools, a couple of hose, rakes, stuff like that. 5-gallon bucket to hold your tools to, some cheap kitchen trash bags. And now, after the first time you clean that flower bed, you're going to build a route that you go back there every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. And now, I prefer that you do smaller homes with smaller flower beds, all right? You're going to be there less than 20 minutes. You're going to charge them $25. You go there every 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, what has grown in there? There's hardly anything that you pop out. You make sure. Then you can upsell them stuff to where, you know, they needed a mulch. You put mulch in it. You charge them for the mulch. And then you can buy some chemical called Preem, I think it's called. It's aggregate type stuff you put in there. Prevents a lot of stuff from growing. All right, but you got to learn a lot of little things, okay? But that's up to you. You built your route. So this person did the same thing. Built the flowers, 5-gallon bucket. They already had some of these hand tools, stuff like that. Ran around. They put out 100 flyers. Very nice neighborhood. They'll end up getting, I think, 6 jobs out of the deal. 5 residential and 1 residential, also in the law office. They got the law office too. And they went out and did it. And every 2 weeks. And they would just go Saturday morning. It was 20 minutes. Some jobs took them even less than that. No one was watching. Bam, 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 they in and out. You know why? Because the homeowner was happy. They're like, well, what the hell, $25, $30 or whatever. I don't have to be out there in the flower beds. You know, because a lot of people spend a lot of money building the flower beds first time. It's all fun. They put in all their flowers, all their crap. Starts getting a little hot out there, and they're like, I ain't going out there to clean that crap. And then you look at it, it gets all overgrown. Bermuda grass gets in there. Da-da-da-da. There's 10 million guys out there that'll show you how to manage flower beds with chemicals and stuff. Learn it. If you're using chemicals, you need to know about chemicals, the do's and don'ts, what they kill, what they don't. All right. So anyway, this person helped them build that business. All right. To let the business go due to physical capabilities or whatever, they were older or whatever. They tried to give it to their children and stuff, and that went out the window. All right. But anyway, it's easy. But when it comes to doing stuff with your hands, the normal people don't want to do it anymore. They want to sit on the sofa and play, you know, tablet or whatever, watch TV, veg out, you know, that kind of thing. So if you're an outside person and your kids are outside kids, they can help you. They can do stuff with it, right? So that's what you do with a small stump grinder, right? You do your small stuff, stay in that category, right? I say nothing over 24 inches, okay? And then you hand over the bigger stuff to another guy. He helps you too by giving you jobs in the small stuff he can't get into. And then, just like anybody else, I'll tell you how to do. You know, you go to masons, you go to all these people like bricklayers, because they got stuff that grows next to walls, or fence companies. You can do fence line stuff, a lot of that smaller thicket stuff, vegetation removal stuff too, and all. Okay? So, anyway, it's winter, but before you know it, it's going to be spring. So I want you to kind of pull it out, all right? Oh, listen. I'll bored you enough or whatever. Remember, here's the new stickers, and you know, this is the newer one here. It says, my saying, remember, if you're not learning something new every day, you must be dead, right? So the first 2 people, you know, I'm going to tell you this. You don't even have to look up a question of this. The first 2 people, if I make a comment, all right, a positive comment about this video, or something you learned out of this video, you win, all right? Just the first 2 people that comment with something positive or something you learned. Like I said, I'll send it to you. All right. And to all of you guys that have, you know, they send me emails and send me, you know, little texts and stuff or Facebook messages or whatever about my hip. and hoping I get well. God bless you, man. You really helped me get through this because, man, I'm telling you, that first 4 days, I thought I had regretted doing the surgery, and I had it done robotically by one of the top guys in the United States. I'm getting better every day. You know, sometimes I can't wait to go to bed so you wake up to feel a little better the next day. All my hard meds are done. They were finished yesterday because they line you up for 2 weeks with, you know, oxycodone. I mean, I had meds listed like the wazoo. And I don't like medicines, but I took it. First, I was trying a little bit like not to, but let me tell you, the nerve pain and stuff like that will drive you to the ceiling. So I did it, but I did everything on time, like they told me. Everything the doc told me to do, I did. You know, they didn't cut any corners or do anything stupid. At least I don't think I did anything stupid. Anyway, God bless you guys. Hopefully this helps out the guy with the small machine. Remember, you can build this off to even a flower bed cleaning business, right? And you can incorporate it with the big guy, right? To all you big guys out there, please, we're all in the game together, okay? Don't drive by and go, look at the shit that guy's got. Don't do that. Don't do that. You got to start from somewhere, all right? So next video or two, I'll make you about how I created a mafia empire in stump grinding. And I'll also tell you some stuff, a little bit about finance, all right? I don't want you grinding forever. There's got to be a purpose for this, all right? There has to be a purpose for you working part-time in the same job, okay? This is a second job that you start on, building your business. This is a second job. I want to make it profitable, and I want to be worth your time. Otherwise, you know, you just bought yourself a job. You bought a machine, and you paid for something to go to work. That's what you did. I don't want it that way. I want you to be successful, okay? I want, you know, I'm on my way out. I want to teach you the tricks so that you'll someday say, I'm on my way out. And then you know why I can get out, because I still get the same checks coming in that I had before. See you next one. God bless.